In this WrestleTalk news, Bray Wyatt not to AEW, Vince and Shane McMahon's relationship, WWE draft trades and more. I've been a good boy, a very good boy. So please subscribe to WrestleTalk and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
How do you know if Arn Anderson will shoot a man with a Glock? Oh, don't worry, he'll tell you. Following Arn Anderson's pretty surprising promo on Wednesday's Dynamite, where he broke up with Cody because Cody isn't the kind of man to shoot a man with a Glock if that man was to jack his car, but Arn is. It was one of those very specific kinds of analogies where you think, wait, did you do that recently or something? Wrestling's gonna wrestle, and you can now buy it on a t-shirt, where Box of Gimmicks is selling a design reading ON, with the R in the shape of a pistol, and a bit of extra text that reads, spilling brains on the concrete since 1982. CM Punk, meanwhile, is still traumatized by the revelation, tweeting a picture of him haunted by armed Anderson. Jokes. But while AEW revealed Arn's more murderous side on Wednesday's Dynamite, the rumoured Bray Wyatt debut never happened. Dave Meltzer first reported in his all-out review that Bray Wyatt would be going to AEW soon, writing the Dynamite in Rochester, New York show from this Wednesday was a speculated date, as it was the hometown of Bray's Wyatt family brother, the late, great Brody Lee. WrestlingNews.co then added this was possible, as Wyatt's WWE contract gave him the option to waive any 90-day non-compete clause if he wanted, meaning he wouldn't be paid for that time, but he could sign elsewhere whenever he wants. Way before the 28th of October date, he would have had to wait until otherwise. Bray Wyatt to AEW on this week's Dynamite confirmed obviously didn't happen though. And Fightful Select sources say they believe The Fiend really is under a standard 90-day non-compete clause. And now Brian Alvarez reckons Wyatt won't even go All Elite. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Live, Alvarez said, I don't think that he is going to be signing with AEW. I know there's a lot of rumours out there. The impression I have is it is more likely that he is going to Impact Wrestling. This lines up with the also released earlier this year Wyatt family member Braun Strowman, who now goes by the name Adam Titan Scher. Titan will be making his first non-WWE appearance this Saturday, facing his real-life best mate EC3 on the cinematic pay-per-view Free the Narrative 2. But then he is also expected to turn up in Impact Wrestling, potentially for Bound for Glory in Las Vegas, where he could eventually do a Wyatt family reunion with Bray. Although the 23rd of October's Bound for Glory is still 5 days before Wyatt's presumed non-compete clause would expire. Do you think AEW has too much going on in the next few months to debut Wyatt? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'll be replying to people for the first 30 minutes after this video goes live. From out of nowhere. We might not have gotten Bray Wyatt on Wednesday's Dynamite, but we did get a title change in the excellent main event of Miro vs Sammy Guevara. But that wasn't always the plan. Fightful Select has reported the TNT title match was originally scheduled for the previous week's Grand Slam episode of Dynamite in Arthur Ashe Stadium, but Tony Khan obviously decided to push it back a week, which is probably for the best, as last week's shows were pretty packed. Khan apparently decided on Miro dropping the belt around All Out at the start of this month. Only several people backstage knew about the title change before the show went on air, and the win was neatly dedicated to former TNT champion Brody Lee in his hometown. Somehow I missed this news yesterday in my AEW review, but Sammy's first opponent has been officially announced as former NXT star Bobby Fish. That's gonna be awkward running into his former Undisputed Era buddy that turned on him, The Boom. Adam Cole backstage, awkward. Fish talked up the match on Busted Open Radio, saying the reason he wanted a TNT championship shot is because that title and this moustache would look frickin' fantastic together. Oh no, wait, no, don't stop! Commission Guevara on next week's Dynamite will have a hell of a September to live up to, with Wednesday's show capping off the promotion's best month of ratings ever, pulling in 1.15 million viewers and a 0.45 share in the key 18 to 49 demographic. That gives them an average of 1.19 million viewers, 0.45 18 to 49 number an episode last month. And with these strong ratings on his side, AEW champion Kenny Omega has shot on WWE, calling the company desperate to Tokyo Sports for bringing back legends every week. But you have to give WWE some credit for restraint, because they have the best wrestler in the world just sitting there, and they haven't used him since April. Here comes a segue. Here comes a segue. Segue, subscribe. Wrestling Inc. reported earlier this week that Shane McMahon was no longer with WWE after he hadn't been featured in the promotion since his WrestleMania 37 match against Braun Strowman. Fightful Select then added that Shane is still under contract, but he rarely, if ever, is at WWE offices anymore. Shane's return to WWE just before the 2016 brand split was always reportedly just as an on-screen talent, and he wouldn't have any involvement in the behind-the-scenes running of the company. But then over the last year, he was apparently the creative force behind the amazing, ahead-of-its-time Raw Underground, and helped agent the Royal Rumble match. With the news Shane is no longer involved with WWE, it was speculated he might have had another falling out with his father Vince, similar to the rift in 2009 that prompted him to leave the company. Shane McMahon to AEW confirmed. Not so, according to WrestlingNews.co, who writes Shane and Vince's relationship is great. When Shane returned in 2016, it was agreed by everyone that he would only work as a talent. That is what Shane wanted. Shane has other business interests. It was never a secret that he wasn't involved in the business side of WWE. Thankfully, WWE don't need a Shane return for at least the next 4 days, because they've got a draft to pop the ratings instead. Dave Meltzer has reported there are many NXT call-ups expected in the upcoming draft, comprising a significant part of the trades. This is thought to be names like Dakota Kai and Austin Theory, who have been wrestling dark matches on Raw and SmackDown in recent months. And John Alba has added Hit Row is also amongst the names being discussed for a main roster debut. Andrew Zarian has corroborated the Hit Row discussion and has also added LA Knight as a potential call-up name too. Additionally, following his 3 pinfall losses in just 8 days, Bobby Lashley has fueled speculation he's moving to SmackDown, tweeting, "I've ran WWE Raw for 3 years since my return to WWE. Maybe it's time to shake things up a bit. Kicking ass on Fridays sounds good to me. Fist bump emoji, WWE draft. Running things on Raw? For all those 3 years? Are you sure? Because you had your sister thing in that time, and the whole storyline with your butt. What about those years, Bobby? The butt storyline. The butt years. You'd expect Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander to follow him over there as well to create a Hurt Business versus Bloodline feud. Make sure to subscribe to our WrestleTalk podcast channel and enable notifications to always on, which is where we host all our live stream wrestling content like the Raw, NXT, AEW and SmackDown reviews, as today we are having our own fantasy draft, pitting Adam Blampied against Denise Salcedo to pick their best WWE rosters. I will be presiding over the affairs because the winner will get to face my master Chopper Pete for the championship, a crown jewel. But our prestigious championship just got a new digital wrestling belt to contend with, because Impact Wrestling have just announced their 6th active title in the company, the Impact Digital Media Championship. The inaugural winner will be decided by a single elimination knockouts tournament, with the final taking place at Bound for Glory on the 23rd of October. Bray Wyatt as first champion confirmed. So far, so Zack Ryder Internet Championship. But Jordan Grace then confirmed what's going to make this title a little bit different. It'll be a full-blown intergender title with this emoji. Don't know what that means. It's kind of like a mob boss thing. Intergender. It's going to be an intergender championship. These shows. It's going to be an intergender championship. That's Robert De Niro. Elsewhere on Impact, Heath Slater made his return on last night's episode to save his longtime buddy Rhino from Violent by Design, and Christopher Daniels won his first match in Impact since 2014, beating Madman Fulton after teasing he'd retired following SCU's loss to the Young Bucks in May. With all these returns, it was only a matter of time before Mick Foley went, "Yeah, I'll have one more match too." GCW has announced he'll have a special appearance to present their World Championship before the Moxley vs Nick Gage main event for next Saturday's Fight Club show. And apparently during a comedy show this week, Foley told the crowd he could do a cinematic match. Who would you like to see Foley face in a cinematic match? A Choose Your Own Adventure Netflix one with The Undertaker? A fight against Sting in AEW? Or, my pick, a Three Faces of Foley Firefly Funhouse match against Bray Wyatt, wherever he ends up? Let me know in the comments. And now watch me and Laurie talk about movies on Cineworld. We have some of the biggest movie news of the year, nay, decade. The cast for that Super Mario Bros. Movie has been revealed. Chris Pratt playing Mario. That's cultural appropriation.
That's it. It's an interesting choice.